Hello, my name is Sarah, and I just had a horrible thing happen to my Yorkie. About an hour and a half ago, I was upstairs in my room, and I heard something from downstairs. It sounded like a screeching sound. I'm sorry for looking like a hot mess right now, but it is what it is. I don't give a shit. So I hear this commotion going downstairs, and it sounded like a screeching sound. And then I heard my mother. She sounded like she was something was happening. Like she was, I can't even describe it. Like she was hysterical. You know that sound that you get, that people make when they're hysterical, and it's like you can hear it. But whatever. Anyway, I digress. And my neighbors just got a pit bull 2 weeks ago. And the second day they brought it home, it had jumped our fence. And I'll show you where. Right over there. And I was outside at the time when it happened the first time. I was sitting up here on the deck. I was sitting up here, and this is the first time it happened, not today. Then I look down, and I see their dog in our yard with my two dogs out there, and it wasn't anything. They were just sniffing each other or whatever. But I was afraid because I don't know this dog. I didn't know, because they adopted it when it was 3 years old, so I didn't know where it came from, the history, whatever the case. So I come down, and it's starting to rain. I may as well let my hair down. And I have always had a bad feeling. I've always had a bad feeling about that dog. I don't know what it was. It's just my gut, I guess. So after the dog came into the yard the first time, my mom was out here as well, and I'm like, Mom, grab Zoey, or Yorkie. She's 13 years old. And I told her to grab Zoey and take her in the house while I get control of this situation with my basset hound Dotson mix and this other pit bull, because he was fine. The pit bull didn't show any signs of aggression as my mom was picking her up. But although when my mom picked her up, the pit bull followed her up the stairs, and then that's when I was behind my mom coming up these steps, and I made sure that the pit bull didn't go inside of our house, because I was going inside anyway to grab a leash so I could take their dog back to their yard. So go in the house, I grab the leash, I come down, and I put the collar on the dog. His name is Charlie. And I grabbed it, I took it out through the yard, and then by the time I was knocking on my neighbor's door to let them know what was going on, my neighbor was coming out from her backyard. I'm like, yeah, your dog jumped the fence. I wasn't being nasty about it or nothing, you know. I was just telling her, letting her know what happened so they could do something about it and prevent it from happening again. So I bring him over there with the leash, and she takes him off the leash. She takes him back into her yard, and she goes in. That was that. So, and ever since that happened, something just told me, my intuition's like, you know, you just gotta make sure you're out there with your dogs at all times. I don't know what it was. It was a hunch, and not because it was a pit bull. Yes, I think pit bulls can be very vicious and they can do a lot of damage, and they have, but I'll get to that in a minute. But they didn't do anything about it. They didn't put up a fence. They didn't, oh, then again, we didn't say anything to them about that. So everything was good, everything was peachy for the past, ever since that happened, up until today, which is August 31st, 2018. And that happened, it first jumped in our yard around 2 weeks ago. I don't know the exact date, but it did indeed happen. So, so fast forward to today, August 31st, 2018. It was around, I woke up about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I was laying in my room, looking through my phone, checking my emails, all that stuff. And then I heard my mom get up, and when she wakes up, she usually makes herself coffee, because my mom can't go through a day without having her coffee. That's just how she is. Understandable. That's how a lot of people are. But anyway, I digress. So I hear her open the door, let him out, because once I let my Basset Dotson mix out, he's a barker. He just goes outside and barks just to let the world know that he's outside. So I'm like, okay. I didn't think anything of it, because my neighbors usually don't let their dog outside during this time of day, because they're at work and their two boys are at school. But for some reason today they had off school, and they let him outside the same time that my mom let the dogs outside, and I was upstairs in my room still. And because I didn't think anything of it, like I said. Okay. And then shortly after my mom I'll stop playing with my hair. Shortly after I hear my dog outside barking, I heard this awful, I can't even describe what this sounded like. If any of you have ever heard a dog in pain, it's like that. It was kind of like that, but you can hear that they're scared and distressed. I can't even explain what it sounded like. And then right when I heard that, I instantly heard my mother starting to go hysterical. She was starting to like hyperventilate. I could hear her all the way in my room. She's like, ah! She was just like wailing. Ah! Can't even describe that either. It just sounded horrible. Right when that happened, I put 2 and 2 together, and I knew what was happening, just to let you know. I knew exactly what was happening. So I grab my weapon, because in the state of Pennsylvania, I am authorized to have a concealed carry permit, and it's legal for me to possess a firearm while I am in the state of Pennsylvania, and I have my license or my card with me. So I grabbed my weapon, I run down the steps, because I knew what was happening. I didn't know if my mom was getting attacked. I didn't know what was going on. So my first instinct was to grab my weapon, and I did. I mean, It's not like, I don't know, just I grabbed it, ran downstairs. My mom was okay. She's like, no, don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. It's got Zoey. And my heart just dropped. I can't even, I'm doing my best to hold my, keep my composure here. My heart dropped. So my mom was blocking me from going out back on the porch here because she saw me with a gun in my hand. So I run out the front door, and I run out back here, and I come through this fence. I come down, and I see my neighbor's cat, little Jasper. He's a cute cat. He was standing on these steps right here, looking up, like to see what was going on. There was commotion going on. So I run up the steps. I see this fucking pit bull. Okay, I see this fucking pit bull. And he has a hold of my baby, my Yorkie. And he drug her. I'll show you. I come up these steps. Right here. And I just see this pit bull. Right over there. Over here by the blue recycling bins. And he has a hold of my dog. And he took her. And he drug her. There's still blood on the deck, so if you don't want to see this, don't look. Because I'm going to show you animal blood. Right here. And he drug her all the way till about right here. Till about right here. And I get down on my knee and I grab the pit bull by his collar, and I had my gun pointed to its head. I was about to shoot it in its fucking head. Yes, I was. Yes, I was about to shoot it in its head. But I didn't. That's only because I heard my neighbors have a little boy, and I heard his voice calling his dog, trying to get him back in his yard. And that's where my weapon was pointed. So once I heard that little boy's voice, I didn't want to do that, because the situation at that time was under control, and I had the dog in my hands, and he had let go of my dog. And the first time when I looked at my dog Zoey, and I thought she was dead because she was lifeless. I looked in her eyes and I thought she was gone. So I take the dog down my steps right here, took it to about right here by the tree, and I screamed at it. I screamed at it and said, "You killed my baby, you killed my dog, I hate you. Why did you do this, you mean dog?" And then I was so mad, I just took it to the end of my yard down there, and I just had it held by its collar, and I was contemplating on what to do. I was gonna shoot it again, but it wasn't biting me in that moment, and the other boy was outside, and I didn't want them to see me do that. I didn't want to do that in front of them because it wasn't attacking me in that moment, and it wasn't attacking any animal in that moment. Just can't believe this happened. But it did. And now I picked my dog. After that, police officers came and they took the dog on a leash and put it back in their house next door. And after the pit bull was out of my yard, I went upstairs. These steps right here, my brother was out and he told me that Zoey was still alive. I'd already let my other dog in the house because I didn't want anything to happen to him. I go up and I see that Zoey was lying in the corner by the door. So she moved. She was awake, she was alive, but I think she was just really, really traumatized and scared of the whole situation that had just happened to her. All the screaming and yelling and traumatic situation. So the police officers were up there talking to me and asked me my name and my birthday and all that stuff, and they're like, you need to get her to a vet. And yes, I called my vet, but they didn't have anything open for that day. So I called another vet. They didn't have anything available right away, like for an emergency. And the police officers were helping to call around to see if there was a vet that could take an emergency right now. And luckily we found one that's about 3 or 4 miles. It's a good ways down the street. It's probably about a 15-minute car ride, which isn't that bad. So I go in the house and I grab one of their dog blankets and I pick her up and I put her in it and wrap her in it a little bit. And my neighbor, my mom was so upset. My brother was trying to find a vet he was trying to find an open vet too, one that could take an emergency right away. So he was still in the house and I brought her out front because I wanted to get her to the vet and get her taken care of and all that. So I take her, and my neighbor was nice enough to drive us to take me with her to the vet, and we had an opening for it, and they took her right away to the animal hospital. And her eye, Zoe's left eye, is bulging, like it got her real good. She has a big laceration on her head. She has a big one on the back of her neck, and she has a bunch of other little punctures that aren't that severe on her body, but so it's just an upsetting situation to have happen right now, and it sucks that this whole thing happened. And in a way, I'm glad I didn't open fire because the neighbor boys were out, and I just didn't. Something inside me just told me not to fire that weapon, so I didn't. Maybe I should have, but if I did, I didn't. I just feel like I did the right thing. by not firing that weapon, because I didn't want it to ricochet and hurt somebody else, or hurt a person or one of the boys, or go through the house and hurt somebody that was in the house, because it happened up on my deck, on our deck, and it's just a whole upsetting situation that happened. But so yeah, I just thought I'd share this story for the internet to hear, because I think that people should be more aware of what damage a pit bull can do. And I'm not saying all of them are like that. I'm not sitting up here bashing pit bulls for you pit bull advocates out there. But would I own one? No. Especially if it doesn't matter if I had children or not. I would never own one. That's just my opinion, my thoughts, and I don't want to own one. I don't care if they all get sent to a kill shelter. I know it sounds cold, but it's true. After today, I don't give a fuck what happens to that dog. It's not a dog. It's a fucking monster. But anyway, I digress again. But I guess my closing thought here is, I know this is 21 minutes long, but I just felt like I needed to share this story that happened about an hour and a half ago. I'll update. If I post this, I don't even know if I'm going to post this on the internet, but if I do, I will give an update on Zoey, and I will let everybody know how she's doing. The vet said, when we left, the vet said she was stable, and they'll have to keep her overnight. She's still shaken up, and they took an x-ray of her, and her internal organs her internal organs were not penetrated by the teeth in any way, because when a dog's tooth goes like that, and her internal organs are fine. But if I didn't get there, if I got there any later, I think she definitely would have been either had more damage, or she would have been gone. And when I first, like I said, when I first saw her, I thought she was gone, but thank goodness she's not. But anyway, my advice to future pit bull owners is, do your research before you go out and get a pit bull, because they can be a very great pet. They can be wonderful pets. But if you want to adopt one that is older, you need to know their history. And if they have any kind of history of attacking or biting, you need to put a fence up and be a responsible pet owner. And you need to take care of that shit before something like this happens again to somebody else's pet, or your children, or you. Come on. But anyway, but please, and if you have a neighbor that has just got a pit bull, I don't know what to tell you. I guess be cautious. Be aware of what's going on outside with your dogs, please. Because I wouldn't want this to happen to anybody ever again. I wouldn't want this to happen to anybody's pet or any person. So, I know I'm rambling now, but that's all that I need to say. That's all that I wanted to talk about. And I will update everybody on Zoey, and maybe I'll show her, maybe show you some pictures or whatever. But yeah, that dog next door is going to be gone though, because my neighbors don't want it anymore. Just a side note. is either going to be euthanized or sent to a shelter somewhere, but anyway. But yeah, that's about all. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Tell me what you think. What you would do in this situation, and do you think I handled this situation good, or is there anything that you would have done different? So yeah, just let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching this 25-minute long video. Okay, bye.